Hello, Gemini, Sun, Moon, Rising, as well as Venus placements. I hope you're well. Thank you so much for being here. I'm Jen with Timeline Tarot, and this is your new moon in Gemini message. It is a collective general reading. So as the messages come through today, take what fits, leave what doesn't, because if it's not your message, it simply means it is meant for someone else to hear. And please check your other placements, Sun, Moon, Rising, as well as Venus. And if you're not sure what those placements are, in the description box of this video is a link where you can obtain your free birth chart. And of course, if you are a Gemini sun sign, I'd like to wish you a very happy birthday. With all of that said now, let's begin. We're tapping into the Gemini collective now, Sun, Moon, Rising, as well as Venus placements. What is the Oracle card here, please, for the Gemini collective for their new moon in Gemini message? Let's get one more shuffle. Thank you. We have Nature Spirits, card number 39. And at the bottom of the deck, we have Meditate, card number 40. Let's get a Moonology card here for you. Moonology card here, please, for the Gemini collective for their new moon in Gemini message. Nature Spirits and Meditate. One more shuffle. Thank you. We have Show the World the Real You, full moon in Aquarius. And at the bottom of the deck, we have It's Time to Take Action, new moon in Aries. So it's possible for some of you, you have a decision here or something that you need to act on. You're not quite sure what to do, right? Aries is action. That is the Emperor in Tarot. So it's possible at this time you could be feeling like, I need to make this decision. I don't know what to do. I think your message at this time is, I think you need to go within, maybe spend some time in nature, meditation, grounding. Right behind that, we have New Life, and then we have Air. So let's see what this is all about here. I just feel like you have a really big decision here to make. Some action that you need to take or you should take, and you're not sure whether or not you should take it or not, or you should move in that direction or not. Tell me more about this here, please, for Gemini, Sun, Moon, Rising, as well as Venus placements. Why do we have Nature Spirits and Show the World the Real You as their new moon in Gemini message? Let's get one more shuffle here. Thank you. We have the Eight of Cups. We have the Queen of Pentacles. And we have Judgment. Bottom of the deck, we have the Wheel of Fortune. So again, this feels like this is the time. Six of Pentacles, Four of Cups. So if you were to move in this direction, this would be the opportune time for you to do that. So there's a situation, environment, or connection here in your life that is not emotionally fulfilling or not emotionally pleasing. And you're sort of sitting on the fence on whether or not to walk away from it or not. Tell me about that Eight of Cups here for Gemini. Because the Eight of Cups for me is a card of movement. It means something here has plateaued. It's emotionally disappointing, whether this is in career and finance, love and romance, or some other aspect or area of your life. And moving in that Eight of Cups means we're moving in the direction of the Nine of Cups, something that would be more emotionally pleasing to us, even if we can't quite see it yet. Tell me more about that Eight of Cups. One more shuffle. Thank you. Eight of Cups is clarified by the Empress, the Magician. Wow. And the Knight of Wands. Bottom of the deck, we have King of Swords, Ten of Pentacles, and the Seven of Cups. So if you have seen my readings before, welcome back. If you haven't, howdy, howdy. But for me, Queens exist in the present. They're processing the present. They're most certainly processing the past. And Kings take action. It's not hierarchical or masculine versus feminine. It's just how I look at a suit of cards. And for me, the Empress is the queen of all queens, and the Emperor is the king of all kings. So there's something here I feel like you're trying to gain clarity on. There's a manifestation here that you want. There's something here that you want in your life. And it's like you want it to come in quickly. The problem you have is, I think you want it to be here. You want it to be at this location, this job, this situation, this relationship, this friendship. There's something like, I want it to be here, but it's not here. You're seeing in this King of Swords, it's not here. It's time for me to move forward towards my manifestation. But I think with that Queen of Pentacles there, where again, you're processing the past, this is something you've invested a lot of yourself into. And that resource can be anything of investment: time, love, money, talent. Again, I don't know what that is for you. I'll see if I can get more on that for you, Gemini. But if this message is resonating for you, there's a situation, environment, or connection that is not emotionally pleasing to you. You would like it to be, and it's not. And you're wondering if you should move in another direction. Queen of Pentacles. Tell me about the Queen of Pentacles. One more shuffle. Thank you. So what you're processing here, the Knight of Cups, the Three of Cups, and the Ten of Cups, bottom of the deck, the Hermit. Wow. The Hermit, the Six of Wands, the Five of Swords. So again, we see here something that you would like victory with or victory in hasn't proven itself to be very victorious in that Five of Swords. Now, whether those are, arguments, disagreements, cutting words, betrayal, conflict, manipulation, that's going to be different for all of you. But while you're processing this disappointing situation, the realization that you're having is, I want happiness in my life. I want to be able to move forward towards situations, environments, or connections that are emotionally pleasing. So there is something here where this isn't the Ten of Cups. I wish it could be the Ten of Cups. I'm manifesting the Ten of Cups, and I can move towards it at any time. I don't know why you're so stuck on that Eight of Cups, because you're not happy with it. But I get the feeling here that you do want happiness with it. Judgment. Tell me about judgment. I'm going to go back to that Eight of Cups for you, Gemini, for those of you resonating with the message. Tell me about judgment here. Because the intuitive hit that I'm getting is like, once you make up your mind on this, like there's no turning back. Like once you decide to leave this job, you're going to go full throttle. That Empress to the Magician to Knight of Wands, like I'm just going to find another job. Once you make the decision, I don't want to live here anymore, you're going to go full throttle to move. Even if this is a connection, like with a friend, a family member, or a lover, as much as you want it to be the Ten of Cups, if it's not, I feel like this. Like once I make the decision to walk away from it, there's no going back. And I think that's a delay, or that's a dilemma that you're having here. It reminds me of a Goodfellas. I hate to trivialize what you're experiencing down to a movie, but it's like when Paulie's at the stove and oh geez, the name escapes me now. Henry comes to him and he's asking him for more money, and like Paulie gives it to him, but then he says to him, but now I got to turn my back on you. That's the feeling here. Is like, once you make this judgment call and you show the world a real you and you take action to move in this, oh, right behind that, we have step out of your comfort zone. So the moment you do this, like there's no going back. Like the moment you ask, you're a single Gemini and you ask the person out on a date, you can't take it back. Like once the words come out of your mouth, they're out of your mouth. So that's the feeling here. Tell me about the Judgment card. One more shuffle. Thank you. Judgment is clarified by the Six of Cups, the Ten of Swords, and the Queen of Cups. That's exactly what it is. King of Pentacles here at the bottom of the deck. So whoever this person is to you, professional, platonic, or romantic, you either have known them since childhood. They certainly could be a family member. If this is a romantic partner, this is someone that you see or recognize as a soulmate. Even if this is a job that you've been at for a long time, or a job you were hoping to be at for a long time, whatever this is to you, once you make the judgment call, because again, queens process the present and the past. So based upon your present and past experience with whomever or whatever this is, once you make the judgment call to end it in that Ten of Swords, there is no going back for you. There's only forward movement. King of Pentacles, the Strength card, and the Chariot to the Ace of Swords. It's like once that is your moment of clarity, if you will, like the decision that you make, it's like final. Then you start pouring your Pentacle resources in a new direction. So if this message is resonating for you, I think this is a good time here for you to meditate and maybe spend some time in nature. Why is this so difficult for Gemini to move on from? Tell me about that Eight of Cups. Tell me about that Eight of Cups. Tell me about the Eight of Cups. One more shuffle. Thank you. We have the Ace of Cups. We have the Seven of Wands. And we have the Seven of Pentacles. Bottom of the deck, Nine of Swords. Because you've been waiting for this situation, environment, or connection to improve for a long time. And you almost feel like you're blocked. Like whether they're blocking you, the person's blocking you, the universe is blocking you. Because remember, in that Eight of Cups, what we're in search of is the Ninth Cup. So there's the Ace of Cups. And the Ace of Cups is blocked by the Seven of Wands and the Seven of Pentacles. So you feel like no matter how much I invest, Queen of Pentacles, in this, regardless of the length of time of investment, I feel like it's just blocked. Like that Ninth Cup is not here. So I'm asking why you, what you're walking away from, or why you're walking away from it. And that seems to be the reason. Like you waited a long time for that Ace of Cups, and it's not coming. Nine of Swords, very much up in your head. Two of Swords, there's that I don't know what to do. Page of Wands, Page of Swords. It's like you keep waiting. You keep waiting for the job to improve, the relationship to improve, the connection to improve, the living situation to improve. Again, whatever this is for you. Anything else on that Eight of Cups here? Anything else on the Eight of Cups? I feel like you're manifesting it. We have the moon, so we do have the new moon in Gemini. So I think this is what you have been doing. I think you have been, as the Empress here, whether you're masculine or feminine, I feel like you have been manifesting for this to turn into the Nine of Cups. I just don't think that it's turning into that. The moon, the King of Pentacles, and Justice, bottom of the deck, the Death card. You have been manifesting for this to change, for it to transform, for it to be more fair and balanced, for whoever's on the other end of this, professional, platonic, or romantic connection or soulmate connection, you have been hoping that it would turn it around. They would turn it around. Things would be fair. Things would be balanced. They would see your worth. They would see your value. And I just feel like it's not happening. So I have a Gemini collective here who's contemplating, since this is not changing, and that Four of Cups. And I feel, look at that, Four of Cups, Three of Swords. Since it's not changing and I feel disappointed or heartbroken or saddened or rejected by whomever, whatever this is, since it's not transforming, I may as well just end it. And that Wheel of Fortune is like, maybe this is the right time to do that. Again, I'm not trying to put words in your mouth. I'm just telling you what's energetically here. Six of Pentacles, Four of Swords. Maybe I need to like pivot and go in another direction. Anything else Gemini needs to know about this taking action here? Because I feel like this is really what you want. It just hasn't materialized into that. Tell me more about that Ten of Swords, and then we'll get you 3 cards of advice. Tell me about that Ten of Swords. One more shuffle. Thank you. We'll take them. Ten of Swords is clarified by Eight of Pentacles. Wheel of Fortune shows itself again. And the Nine of Cups, and that's what you're looking for. King of Wands, again, remember what I said. Kings take action. We have the King of Wands, we have the Hierophant, and we have the Emperor to the Fool card. Oof, okay. I have a Gemini collective here, and again, please don't allow tarot to dictate what you do. But the feeling here seems to be, I'm going to work on this for a little bit more. I'm going to give this a little bit more of my patience, a little bit more of my time, a little bit more of my dedication. I don't know why it's coming across that way. But the feeling is like, I'm going to give it a little bit more, just a little bit more to see if this Five of Swords, Eight of Cup type of situation changes. And if it does not, I'm moving in another direction. Again, Kings take action. So I feel like you're going to give this just a little bit more time to see if it aligns with you. I don't even think you're looking for hope or promise at this point, because I think that's what you've been sort of like hanging on by a thread there on hope and promise. So I think now there's something here like, I'm looking for actionable change. And if not, I'm going to pivot and move in another direction. And I see you doing that. So for those of you where this message is resonating, it looks like because we're clarifying that Ten of Swords, that if this does not change relatively soon, you're going to pivot and move in another direction, in a direction that is like more aligned to you. But I do think in the interim, you're giving this just a little bit more time. You're having a little bit more patience with whatever or whomever this is. In the interim, though, your advice here is to go within, and again, walks in nature, meditation. There's definitely something like that, because I feel like you're very confused about whether or not to move in this other direction and have this new life, if you will, or this new chapter. Without this person, place, or thing in it. Let's get you 3 cards of advice. 3 cards of advice here for Gemini. 3 cards of advice. One more shuffle. Thank you. Your advice for this message. We have the Knight of Swords, we have the Hangman, and we have King of Wands shows themselves again. There you are, Queen of Swords, Queen of Wands, and the Ten of Swords. You are heavily contemplating and this is only advice, before you consider putting an end to this, because I feel like with the 2 Ten of Sword cards, we don't have the World card, but we do have the Fool, which tells me with that 2 Ten of Swords cards, plus the Wheel of Fortune, you're heavily contemplating moving on from this. Before you do that, pause. That Knight of Swords, this is like, I'm going to take action on my own behalf. I hold the sword of truth. I have everything that I need, and I'm just moving in another direction. And remember what I said, kings just take action. But smack in between them is the Hangman. And the Hangman, you're I don't know why. I cleansed these cards. I did not put them in the reverse, but the Hangman here came out in the reverse. So there's something here. The Hangman in the reverse could talk about self-destruction, indecision, delay. There's something here about pausing before you take action. So don't take action right now prior to the new moon in Gemini. I mean, if this is like a really abusive situation, environment, or connection, that's a different story. But why does Gemini have to wait? It's your birthday season. So 10 of Pentacles in the upright came out of the deck. So there's something here about you may regret moving on from this situation, environment, or connection in that with that self-destruction there. You may regret doing that, or you may get very angry over this, and you may speak out of turn, or you may say some cutting words. So it's just, and that would end this situation for you as well. So there's something here about pausing before you do that. Why should Gemini pause before they do that? Why should they pause? One more shuffle. Thank you. Why should you pause? Two of Wands, future planning, but it's also a decision-making card. It is another pause card. Two of Cups and the Page of Pentacles. Bottom of the deck, there's that Seven of Wands to Temperance to the Ten of Swords. See, there's something here like, wait, Gemini. Even like Archangel Michael is getting in the way here. And there's something here about like, wait, Gemini. I feel like this person, like whoever it is, I hate to say that you're waiting on them, but you kind of have been. They do come in with an offer. So maybe this is a job where you're like just a hair away from quitting, and maybe you want to say some nasty words and collect all your stuff on Friday and just like leave. But again, if it's not an abusive situation, hang in there, because I feel like then that would be like the boss or supervisor, manager coming in with an offer. Same thing if this is like a friend, family member, lover. Maybe you're having an issue with your neighbor. Whomever this person is, could be a family member. Again, it's a general collective reading, but there's something here about pausing before you make that decision, because this person comes in with some type of offer, opportunity, apology. The Page of Pentacles is holding the Ace of Pentacles. Anything else Gemini needs to know about what is being offered? Anything else they need to know about what's being offered? One more shuffle. Thank you. Strength, Seven of Swords, and the Wheel of Fortune. Bottom of the deck, Three of Wands. So it's not really telling me what's being offered. It's just telling me that if you move forward right now, if you're like, I'm going to take all the courage, I don't care, I'm going to do this, this isn't right, I feel like you're sabotaging something here that's meant to come to you in divine timing. And there's that Wheel of Fortune here as well. Then we have we did. So I know that you want to move on this because you're not happy with this, but even that Three of Wands is like waiting. Knight of Pentacles, the Lovers. I feel like Seven of Pentacles, whoever it is that you're waiting on, I feel like they come in. It feels like it's almost like a last minute thing. So maybe for now you want to cool down, relax. You know, we can get a little heated or hot-headed at times. I say that as a Gemini sun. So I just want to tell you not to sabotage this opportunity. I mean, what's meant for you will never pass you by, but you certainly can sabotage it or delay it significantly by maybe saying or doing something a little inappropriate. So I would hang back on this. Can we get timing for when Gemini can expect that Page of Pentacles? I feel like you would be sabotaging this if you acted too soon. Not every card in Tarot's timing, but let's see what we get. When does that Page of Pentacles come in here for Gemini? One more shuffle. Thank you. The Hermit. That's by Virgo season, but let's look at the timing card. I don't feel like you have to wait that long for it. But again, the Hermit would talk about you doing introspection. At the bottom of the deck, we have the Seven of Cups, and that would be the 7th month of the year for me in terms of timing. So that is July. Ace of Swords, that's the truth. So by July or in July is actually when you receive the offer, the communication, the opportunity. I'm not telling you to sit around and look at your watch, but there is something like that here about you just kind of pausing for now. Again, as long as this is not like an immediate, emergency type of 911 thing, I would wait till July. Can I get extra timing here for the Gemini collective about that? You will have to wait. You know that. Can we get timing next week? So with the new moon in your sign, bottom of the deck is September, which is Virgo season. But again, I don't feel like most of you have to wait that long. There's something here. I know that you want to move on it like now, like this week, but I would wait till next week. I don't know why, but I would give this another week. and not do anything. Maybe just like cool your jets a little bit, Gemini. Again, meditate, go out in nature if you can. I don't know where you live in the world, but that seems to be the advice for you. And right behind September, we have this week, and then you have in the coming weeks. So I would hang tight for a week or two and just see how this plays out before you take action. And maybe with that step out of your comfort zone, maybe that's a little bit out of your comfort zone to do that. The next card there is bring love into the situation. New moon in Aquarius, and right behind that is take time to breathe out. So maybe that's what you need here. Maybe this is not the right time to take action, even though you want to. That is what I have for you, Gemini, at this time. I feel like the answers you need are coming. I'm probably going to call your video that. But that is what I have for you. If you like those messages, they resonated with you, you want to claim all or part of them, please be sure to click like, share, comment, and subscribe. Hype the video if you're able to do that. And don't forget to check out your other placements. Until I read for you again, have some patience. And as always, I'm sending you light, love, and peace.